Tom, how are you? And let's keep rocking and rolling with some of these great topics we can cover regarding helping companies get better benefits and save their bottom dollar. That's not normal. Usually, improving and making things better means you're going to pay more. That's usually what society shows us, right?
Well, that's the perception people have, but the reality is you've got to understand what you're buying. And once you understand what you're buying, then it's a matter of getting the best deal with what you're buying.
Totally. All right. So our topic today is from confusion to clarity: how ClaimLink simplifies health insurance for businesses. And that simplification is what you do. What are some of the biggest misconceptions business have about health insurance costs, and how does Claim Links help clear up that confusion?
Everyone thinks that by buying uh, insurance products with co-pays and office visit and drug cards is the way to go. You buy it from the insurance company and you move on. And what they don't realize is if they did the math, they'd say, hey, why aren't we doing that ourselves? We could give our employees better benefits for less money and only relying on the insurance carrier for the catastrophic claims.
Yeah, and kind of dive deeper into what you talk about when you're looking at every month and what the costs are involved with deductibles and premiums and where those misconceptions are.
The biggest misconception is that the friendly insurance agent is looking out for your best interests, and they give you a spreadsheet and you choose from their spreadsheet. You have no idea what you're buying, but you trust them, so you buy from them, and all they're doing is traditional things. Whereas there's been tax laws dating back to 1954 that allow companies to do it totally different. So what the insurance agents have done is they weed themselves in the hearts of the HR and the office managers of these companies, and the owners have stayed out of it, like laissez-faire, as the French would say, leave business alone, and they have not kept up with the times. And the misconception with the benefits is that everyone else is doing this, so why what's wrong with us doing the same thing? Well, the reality is you're having your employees have a $5,000 out of pocket now, which is equates to $2.41 every hour they work for you for their cost if they use it.
That,
On top of that, they're asking you to pay premiums. So you're giving $3 to $5 every hour away just for your health insurance that you may never use. And if you do use it, you have to pay a ton out of pocket because your benefits stink.
what do you think hurts the consumer more in healthcare? The premium or the deductible?
The deductible, because they don't understand the benefits. So they don't realize if they go to the hospital, they think they're only going to pay a couple thousand and they end up having to pay 5 or 6. So if they use it, it's the definitely benefits. The premiums are pre-taxed, and they don't even think it through about, they just go, oh well, it cost me $200 a month. They don't even do it that way. They break it down weekly or bi-weekly, per paycheck. So it's only $25 a paycheck, if they're getting paid weekly, or $50 a paycheck, whatever it is. They don't even think twice about it until renewal, when they're asked to pay $53, then they get all upset.
Yeah, and that's just something that you have to say to yourself, really? Is this really what happens? So, my next question is: how does ClaimLinks ensure that employees still receive quality health care coverage while employers save money? Because remember, I talked about from the start of this podcast
Uh,
is guess what? You you how can you get better quality insurance and it costs the business owner less?
Well, it's just benefits. So what they don't understand is the benefits, if the owner creates savings, they can lower everyone's out of pocket, their deductibles, their office visit copays, their drug copays, because they have the backdrop of the insurance company covering all the major stuff anyways. So if you save 10,000 a year a family, and why not agree to use half of that to improve their benefits? And if they don't use it, you get to keep it all.
Right. And that's the thing. So kind of explain that more so they get to keep it all.
So you're paying 30,000 a year per family as an owner, and now you go down to 10. You have $20,000 of savings. Out of that 20,000, you've been asking the employee to pay 10,000 of it. So then the question becomes, how much do you want to lower the premiums for the families? So they don't have to pay 10 anymore. So you make it 5. So you cut what they're paying in half. And then you say, okay, we have $15,000 that we're saving. We've increased the risk for the families by $10,000 from where they were. So let's lower the risk. Not only will we cover that 10, but we'll lower it further with that extra 5,000. So what we do now is, instead of having a 5,000, 10,000 out of pocket like you had before, now you have a 2,500 and a 5 for the families. So you've lowered their out of pocket exposure by using the savings from the insurance company to do so. And people just don't understand that they are truly being taken to the cleaners that bad.
They're totally being taken to the cleaners.
Oh, and in the, because of the relationship the office manager or the HR director has, and all the brokers do, then they become like defense attorneys. They're coming up with like ridiculous scare tactics to scare people out of saving money that have no relevancy. Kind of like that guy in Idaho who finally, after trying to explain how he couldn't have done this or that, those 4 murders, he just finally just gave up because he knew he was dead. Well, that's eventually what happens to the insurance broker. But the problem is the owners have to be the ones initiating it, because if they are not, they're underlings. It's not their money. They just view it as, oh, this is a headache because our current agent says we shouldn't do this. Well, why would your current agent tell you you shouldn't do something to save money? Do you think it might be that they're losing do re mi?
Right. Now let's think about the better. So this is a great point, Tom, you're making. Let's talk about the better benefits. Why is it that the employee's not receiving good benefits with the current things that the insurance company's selling them?
Because the insurance companies, to buy those good benefits where they used to have them like $500 deductibles or $1,000 deductibles that they call good, are now, to keep up the inflation every year, they've had to increase the out of pocket on the workforce because they kept getting 20% rate increases. So what they did is they cut the rate increases year after year down to 5-6%, but the sacrifice was increasing the deductible each year from like 500 to 1,000, then to 1,500, then to 2,000, and that's why it's gotten out of control.
What tools or resources does ClaimLinks provide to help businesses understand and manage their healthcare plans more effectively?
Everyone gets a schedule of benefits, and if they listen to us, you create a 0 deductible plan and you make everything a copay, because it's easy for the employees and the employer to understand. No one understands deductibles or co-insurance, what goes towards the deductible, what does not. So what we're doing is we're going to the insurance company and saying, all we want from you are three things. We want the catastrophic coverage at the point where you're going to cover 100%. The preventative, because the Affordable Care Act already built into the plan. And you're giving them a network so that they get discounts prior to them hitting the catastrophic. Everything else is a ripoff if you buy it from the insurance.
And that's where I don't
Yeah.
understand why businesses do this. And why
I
can't,
really, well, I don't either.
well,
It's
that's
not
why getting the word
logical.
out. So when
Well,
I talk
the
about
office managers, the HR directors, relationships with the agents is the biggest issue of health insurance. I would like to go to these companies of a couple hundred or 50 or even 10 and say, hey, if you could pay nothing for your health insurance and get better benefits, would you be upset that you don't have the same agent? And you know what most of them would say, 98% of them? We don't even know who the hell the agent is. Or that we see them once a year and they're always smiling why our deductibles and our costs go up.
right. And that's what makes it so easy to be able to share this story with people. So how does so I'm interested in also because you constantly are the going guy. Tom Quigley really knows health insurance. He studies it, he looks into it, and he has this brain for numbers. And that's where Claim Links comes out as the game changer. How does
Well,
Claim
my wife understands how to manage my crazy ideas and my tax attorney's crazy ideas, Mr. Ed Lyon. And what she does is she understands how to create it and how to manage it. She's the glue that makes it work. Without her, we would be
exactly? We need to have a
I'd be
woman.
sitting around talking shit at a bar.
You mean to see that's the problem. You, me, and Ed are crazy. We'll come up with these great ideas, but yet we need to implement them, and we need
You,
people like your wife and
yeah, like Chris
Vanessa to
Reed.
be there to help, right? Make it happen.
Yeah, and then we have my son who's very knowledgeable, and my daughter who's very good at being clones of us. So that's great news for our clients for longevity. But the staff we have is phenomenal too. I mean,
Oh yeah, we have to highlight that staff more. That's a great point, Tom.
without
I'm
them,
trying to
we
put you
nothing.
over as a an expert, which you are. Okay, that's it. You and Ed are these go on your own. No, have something so unreal in ideas, but we got to have people around us. And,
Right, like Ed, I mean, I haven't paid, I didn't have to pay any federal taxes this year and I'm getting all my federal tax money the last 3 years back for solar equipment because of the Inflation Reduction Act. And you can do that up to year 2028, even with this big, beautiful bill that is in Congress right now.
yeah, we have to find out about that's for another topic, another time, another place.
Sure.
All right. So, yeah, and how do you keep up with your industry trends? By the way, through I was bringing that up, and you.
Well, that again's a lot to do with my wife, because my wife was in research trends and statistics for Anthem Blue Cross back in the 90s. And she knows how to, and my daughter look up and understand the game, and they keep us knowledgeable through sending us emails and articles that they accuse me of not reading, but I do. I tell them I don't, just I don't want to tell them the truth. And I read those some of the articles from some very smart people, and here's what I've gathered is the government is intervening in health insurance through the HIPAA laws, the Affordable Care Act, did go back to the ERISA laws, they put in, section 105. So, they're kind of intervening in health insurance, and the problem is they're like the big bad wolf. They'll huff and they'll puff and they'll blow your house down, but they can't blow it down. because they don't understand what they're even saying in a lot of the stuff, and it's so mumbo jumbo. But the funniest thing is our solutions have been tested in revenue courts, private letter rulings that have come out, and time again, we're right. The ones that are sketchy are the ones the way these brokers are trying to
Exactly.
sell it. That's the sketchy part. And
Yeah,
it
but we're
costs
going to
more.
find people that say they're like claim links on the next podcast, so stay tuned. But best place to go is claimlinks.com. Schedule a call with Tom today, and we'll talk soon. That was the special simulcast.